And welcome back to the Kansas City Athletic Club for the WPH EKTELON Fireball Handball 3-Wall Classic. Alongside David Fink, my name is Dave Vincent. Omar Lemus operating the camera here, and you're watching Andy NETT with the Yankees starter Andy Pettit. Andy NETT from Winona, Minnesota.
There's actually a crowd pleaser, Dave. This is, if you like power and you like looks, we've got them both for you here in this match. We've got the Minnesota Dreamboat, Andy NETT, facing off against the Texan, the blonde bombshell, ALLAN GARNER. These two, Dave, are two of the hardest hitters in the sport. And you bring all that power out here, Dave, onto the concrete jungle of the KCAC. There's going to be some fireworks here.
Referee is Kevin Pettis. Looks like with that bright yellow-green shirt that he's wearing, that he's helping young kids across a crosswalk. You're not going to miss seeing the referee. ALLAN GARNER wins the first serve, and we're going to watch it here, men's round of 16.
ALLAN GARNER, Dave, actually has been here since Tuesday. Got here 3 days before the event. That's how serious he's taking this tournament. He's here to win. He's done some sparring with locals, Tommy Little, who's a prolific 3-ball player in his own right. Word has it, Dave, that he did quite well in those sparring sessions.
Now it's 2-0.
Andy NETT off to a slow start here.
It's kind of a strange road for ALLAN GARNER, who entered the tournament and backed out about a week ago due to the flu, and then he came back in again, said he was feeling better. And look at that huge natural hook outside the court there from ALLAN GARNER, jumping out to a quick 3-0 lead. A lot of people haven't seen ALLAN GARNER on a 3-wall court, but they say here that he does play in this tournament.
Andy's staying way too far inside that back line, Dave. That puts him at a big disadvantage returning that deep serve. Andy right now just looks really out of sorts. Andy's only played 3-wall one time, Dave. That was at the 3-wall nationals last year. You can see he doesn't look real comfortable out there.
Oh, that ball stayed up for ALLAN. He didn't take a step in to get it.
That's what we're talking about here, Dave. In 3-wall, for whatever reason, you don't have to kill the ball that flat. And I can remember having a conversation with Emmett about that, who's the best 3-wall player in the world right now. He said, yeah, that's why I do so well out here. You don't have to roll the ball flat out here to win points.
Oh, nice serve right there from Andy Pettit. Andy NETT.
He'll be,
excuse me,
pitching tonight over at...
Actually, he lost last night.
Really? Okay.
He lost 1-0. And I'm not even a huge Andy Pettit fan.
A lot of people say I look like him.
No, Jimmy. What?
So now we see that Andy NETT has a good serving game.
Looked like that was about to be a double fault there, Dave.
That's a ball just over the line. Another point.
It's a scary proposition, Dave, when you play these big servers out and outdoors, because you never know, will I be able to get myself in the match and return the serve?
Beautiful shot right there from Andy NETT. Now 4-4.
That's tremendous power there from Andy. Believe me, I tried that shot. I didn't get it anywhere near the bleachers. He had that ball up in the 4th row.
Former All-American starting quarterback in college.
You want to wait for him to get time before we break?
That's a smart shot there from Andy.
6 straight points now from Andy NETT.
Wait for him to get more points?
You see Andy looked like he was going to shoot that ball down the right and then just turn that right hip so fast and just crush that ball. And now it's another ace.
Now it's 6 straight points for Andy.
Tremendous serving there, Dave. How quickly things can change, Dave.
Look at that serve right there. 7-4, 7 straight points now.
I was just mentioning, Dave, to our viewers that Andy looks uncomfortable out here. He looks like about the best that's ever played the sport in the last 7 points. And there's another one. That's a smart time out there from the blonde bombshell, Dave. I know his wife, Erica, will be watching closely right now. I'm sure she's just about to text me to tell him to come on, baby. Gorgeous. I might say the baby. I'm not sure about the gorgeous, although I think he is.
He is gorgeous.
Just might not say it. There's a lot of people out here.
Well, you know she's screaming at her computer right now. She actually will say it in Spanish, and then she'll translate it for you. In case you didn't understand what she said, she'll do it in English.
She wants to make sure that everyone in the crowd understands her.
Andy Nett, first game serving against Allan Garner, and like you said, he looked uncomfortable until he got into the server's box. 8 straight points now for Andy Nett. 8-4. That's a short ball.
I thought that serve was good. I was shaded. And that's not what you want to do, Dave. We talked a lot about coming in after calling the timeout. We actually had a score sheet in Tucson. Allan calling a timeout after losing 8 consecutive points, and he's handed the serve by a double fault. In retrospect, Dave, that's a great timeout.
That's right. The score is...
This will be an easy rollout, and it is.
5-8.
Think about just how crucial that double fault is, Dave. Andy's on an 8-0 run. Comes back in double faults, hands Allan the serve, and who knows how many Allan will be able to score in a row from here. I like that shot there from Allan. Gets the setup.
What a smart shot right there from Andy. He doesn't even look phased whatsoever that he's playing Allan Garner, the number 4 seed.
You know, Dave, Andy's been going to almost every tournament this year, and you can just see how much he's improved and how much more comfortable he is against the top players. Andy's one of the nicest guys you could ever meet.
I'm actually part of a secret group of players. That was in.
Allan lets that ball go. That ball dropped 2 feet inside the line. He also had a wide open court to hit into. He takes that ball out of the air with his left and hits it straight back down the left, and it's an easy slide out there for him.
Listen for the score. 10-5, I believe. Andy Nett on a 10-1 run versus Allan Garner here.
That ball barely even bounces, Dave, and Allan picks it up.
Unbelievable.
That's a good shot. Andy really didn't recognize that ball. He had a chance to cut that ball off, move 2 steps to his right. He didn't. He waited.
Took the wrong angle. 5 serves 10.
You know, Dave, there was a lot of heated discussion about the seating here at this event.
That was long.
You know, a lot of these guys don't play that much 3-wall, or some of these guys play a lot of 3-wall but not that much 4-wall. There aren't really official 3-wall rankings. So we've got, you know, 12 to 14 guys here, Dave, that could all make legitimate cases to be seated in that top 7 or top 6 range.
I think from 4 until you get to about 8, there was a lot of interchangeable players. You almost had to pick a name. But I agree. I think there was at least one controversial seed out of the 4 there. Allan just looks all out of sorts here, and it's brought on by that great serve from Andy Nett. This is game number 1. Listen for the score. 11-5. We're on 11-1 run. Make that 12-1.
You know, that right there is not that great a serve, Dave, and Allan just completely misplays that. It looks to me like he's just rattled right now. Allan's known for being, you know, very laid back on the court, but right now he looks upset and rattled.
That's a good serve right there.
That's a nice return there, Dave. I don't like that shot at all, Mandy. That's kind of where that 3-wall inexperience comes in. You never want to hit a 3-wall shot in a 3-wall court.
If you are going to hit it, make sure you go toward the crack. I mean, you leave it out there like a 4-wall court, and it's just going to check up. But if you go toward the crack, you might be able to do something with it. 5-12.
Not sure I know what you're talking about.
Well, aim closer to the crack on your 3-wall instead of...
Okay. You don't want that ball to hang.
No.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Out here, you really have to just almost go right toward the crack. If you don't do that, then...
That's a good shot there.
Ooh, Andy back into the stands here.
Almost like a third baseman going into the crowd to catch that foul pop.
I thought that was a Derek Jeter going in there.
Handball players are about the same success rate as the NBA players jumping into the crowd to save the ball, and the baseball players going into the crowd. They get it about 0% of the time. The crowd appreciates it, though, that extra effort. I don't.
Well, unless you're in Texas and players fall out of the stands and land 3 stories down. That's a double fault from Allan Garner. Making his way to the stands here, we see Scott Simon from the Bob Simon Memorial. 12-6.
Scott said he will be running that pro stop again this year, Dave, the Simon Memorial. We had a great time at that event. We webcasted that. We actually have the DVDs of that for those interested.
This is where Allen's dangerous right here in that front court. Look at that ball stick up.
I thought Andy played a ball that was out there, Dave. He played a ball out of the air from about 35 feet. I think that ball was just about 6 inches long. We'll never know.
Well, the great Vern Roberts says if you think it's long, you should always hit it.
Well, that's true.
That's not actually a direct quote, but it's close.
Paraphrasing.
I'm paraphrasing. If you think it's long, you should always hit it. 7 serves 12. That's a good serve right there. Look at that hop.
These guys really playing a four-wall game here outside, Dave. We haven't seen much action from behind that back line. I can tell you, Dave, when you watch these next couple of matches with Tommy Little and Bill Mihalos, and even earlier with Nick Nahorniak and also Marcos Lemus, these guys are 10, 15 feet behind that back line just bashing that ball.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot from Dane Zakowski, and then when Dave Chapman gets out there, you're going to see a completely different style of game than what these guys are playing. You're watching the WPH EKTELON KCAC 3-wall handball Fireball Classic using the red Fireball here.
I'll say, Dave, that without that high game, you don't have any chance to beat a top 3-wall player.
Well, that's absolutely true, and we're going to see some examples of that coming up a little later on. So certainly some contrasting styles out here. And that's what makes for fun handball, and you're catching it live on the webcast. Do appreciate it if you buy a WPH membership at WPHpass.com or thehandballstore.com, where we have gloves, balls, memberships, and shirts, as well as gear. 8-12.
Looks like Allen's settled himself down here over these last 4 or 5 points, Dave. Looks a lot more comfortable. And just as I said, he blows one of the easiest shots he'll have all match. You know, that's sort of his bread and butter, Dave, that left hand straight down the left wall. He skipped that one, he missed it badly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I know you can see both here, but okay.
You have to be frustrated with yourself a little bit there.
Well, you know, that's one of those shots, Dave, where you're just a little bit off balance, and he should have aimed about a foot high there because Allen was nowhere near.
Wow. Bad serve from Allen. Oh.
That's a good shot there.
And he read it right, but then he hit the ball right back to Allen. Allen's making a nice little comeback here, and I'm sure it's because Erica is at home screaming at the computer.
Actually, just got a text message from Erica. Got our first compliment as a webcast team.
9-12.
Said we're doing well.
Huge natural hook from Allen there, out the door.
This is a shot I'd like to see Andy drive a little bit deeper. You want to keep that ball away from the middle of the court, Dave. That's not a bad shot right there. You see Allen does not read that ball well, but Dave, when you drive that ball straight on the front wall, you want to drive it straight down the walls. If you drive that ball straight down the middle, you give a great fly kill specialist the opportunity to take that ball out of the air and end the rally.
Or catch it on the way up. Look at that serve right there. Are you serious?
I just don't think Allen's reading that serve well. I think he's playing a little bit too close to the line, too much on his toes. You can see Allen there. He's very vulnerable to that deep serve.
He's coming in on it, but now he's handcuffed here. 14-9 is the score. It's the first game, men's round of 16. Andy Nett from Winona, Minnesota versus Allan Garner from San Antonio, Texas. Another great serve, but long.
You know, I think those last 2 points for Andy are huge for him, Dave. Playing against a top player, he built a lead. Looked like it was sort of slipping away a little bit. He comes back in, and now he's on a 3-point run.
Absolutely beautiful serve right there from Andy. He's going left and right, 15-9. That was a deep crack. That's the one that's been getting Allen.
The inside out right there, and Allen a pretty good get. I'd like to see Andy let that ball drop and shoot it. Instead, he's put himself back way behind the back line, and there's the miss hit.
See, every time Allen's hit that ball deep Andy has not been able to handle it. And
You know,
Andy, out of all the players here in the tournament, has a strong enough arm to get that ball back.
It's not just about having a strong arm, though, out here in through-all. Talking to Dave Vincent, Dave Chapman telling me, it's actually a different swing when you get there, back there behind that line. Something you and I wouldn't have known. Certainly
I wouldn't have
certainly
known
that, obviously. Andy should have taken that one more step and got himself in position there. Andy blew about 3 opportunities to win that rally. But Dave said the swing is more of a loft type of swing from back there. It's less of a sort of an overhand tomahawk and more of just a loft type of swing where you're just trying to hit that ball high and get it back deep, get yourself out of trouble.
Oh, nice serve right there. Now that's going to be a timeout call from Andy Nett. You are watching this round of 16 match between Allan Garner and Andy Nett. My name is Dave Vincent along David Fink. We're at the Kansas City Athletic Club for the WPH EKTELON 3-wall Fireball Handball Classic. Do buy your WPH membership at WPHpass.com. You can get the instructional video from Dave Chapman that's available for 4-wall players, as well as a dry fit EKTELON WPH logoed shirt that we have. Now we're going to throw in there for free. The two combined is about $70, and the membership only costs $50. Plus, you get free webcasting, video uploads, DVDs of the Nationals as well as the World Championships, and online viewing in the magazine. Plus, discounts on merchandise that we have available in the Handball store. It's thehandballstore.com. Purchase your membership, support the WPH. We'll do more events like this one here in Kansas City, Kansas.
It's interesting, Dave. It seems like Andy's really outplayed Allan here in this first game, but Allan has charged back here. 11-15.
Yeah, you're right. It seems almost like Andy is really beat up on Allan, and yet because of plays like that,
you know, Allan's biggest weakness in the 4-wall court, Dave, is his movement. That is exposed even more out here in 3-wall. You see Allan just not changing directions well. Certainly we're not here to make excuses for the blonde bombshell, but he was very ill last week, actually picked up the flu, pulled out of the event, started to feel better earlier in this week, and got himself back in the event.
Nice get right there from Andy Nett. I guess we're going to play that over. Yes. I don't know if I agree with that.
Very surprising.
No offense, Erica, but I don't think your husband was going to get to that ball.
When the hinder was actually called the shot before.
Right.
It's interesting because I mentioned we'd seen very few hinder calls out here throughout the entire day. That's only the second hinder call I've seen. You know, Dave, you're never out of an outdoor handball game, 1-wall and 3-wall, because any good server has the ability to just get in there and run 10 or more points. Allan Garner still not firing on all cylinders, hanging in this game against top 30 pro Andy Nett.
12-15. Ooh, look at that ball come out of the whole complex off Allan's back. Allan's standing near the short line.
You sure that wasn't his head?
That was in his near his upper back, right near his neck.
Okay.
And that ball went out of the whole complex, out in the parking lot. So we got a brand new ball. We're going to get ready for.
As a player, Dave, I never like to see a new ball come in there in the middle of a game like this when the other ball has gone out of the court, because the server has such a big advantage. That new ball comes in with just about 5% more zip. And you see right there, I mean, he's just a little bit late on that ball. That's not a great serve. That ball's right in the middle of the court. That's a great serve there from Allan.
Best serve that Allan's had this whole match.
Well, that's the first ball Allan's really stayed down on there, Dave, with his right hand. He stayed down on that ball and kept that ball right on the wall.
Andy's saying that if Allan's standing close to the wall and he hits that ball in front of himself.
You see where Andy's standing here. I just don't really understand that. You know, Dave, if I saw my opponent standing that close, I'd be driving that ball right at the back line. Every time. There's nothing you can do with that ball at the back line if you're standing in front of it.
That's not a good ball to hit in this complex.
That's a good shot there from Allan. That'll be in the 5th row.
No, look at that shot from Andy Nett, and the crowd loves it too.
That's just a little bit of 3-wall inexperience there for Allan. Allan's got Andy hitting from the bleachers. You know there's nothing he can do with that ball. He should have been up in that court close to the short line there. At the very worst, he takes that ball out of the air, and he's there to cover that sort of a fluke shot.
15-14, first game, round of 16.
The game's easy from here, Dave. Doesn't mean that it's a nice get there from Andy.
Both players playing fairly close to each other right now.
That's a great drive there from Andy. You see Andy take that ball with his left. That ball just barely coming up off that left side wall, and he fired it straight back down the left wall. Perfect height. You know, the height on those pass shots, Dave, is so important.
16-14. Look at that serve. That thing just hops away, too. It wasn't a huge reverse, but it was just enough.
I'm surprised, Dave, that Allan is not anticipating which side Andy's serving to, because I've been able to detect where he's going with each serve.
Weird shot from Andy.
Very strange shot.
Allan's going to make him pay for it.
That's not the right shot there, Dave. You see Andy actually trying to shoot that ball from off balance from 45 feet into the right corner with Allan standing right there in the middle of the court. He had Allan in a good position to just drive that ball high and take him out of the front court and possibly force an error.
And he thumbed it.
Well, he tried to shoot that ball, just not the right shot. I like that shot there, Dave. Really neutralized the rally. Allan with another nice drive. You see Andy just not the right swing on that ball. You know, it's not about hitting that ball as hard as you can. It's about the right trajectory and the right angle on that shot that makes it successful. That's a great reverse right there. Andy reads it. I don't like hitting that reverse, Dave, on the 3-wall court down the left, because that ball slows up too much, gives your opponent plenty of time, and he has got plenty of room to move around there and adjust to it. That hard natural is a much tougher ball to return on the cement.
16-17.
I like that serve right there.
Now we have another timeout. This is the last one for Andy Nett. 17-17. First time it's been tied since we started off 0-0. You're watching the first game between Allan Garner from San Antonio, Texas, and Andy Nett from Winona, Minnesota, who has really emerged as of late on the 4-wall court, qualifying a few times for pro stops and doing well and 3-wall and just really getting the handball bug.
He actually beat our good friend Chip the Baby Morales 11-10 to qualify in Tucson at that Y2K event, Dave, and also beat Chip at the pro event in Des Moines, Iowa 11-8.
Actually, the Tucson event was the first ever Fireball Classic qualifier that he qualified on, but then he pulled Dave Chapman, I believe.
Actually, he played Luis Moreno there.
He pulled Luis in the qualifier draws. You're watching the WPH EKTELON KCAC 3-wall Fireball Handball Classic out here. In a beautiful 78, 80 degree temperatures of Kansas City, Kansas. Alongside Dave Fink, my name is Dave Vincent. This is the first ever live 3-wall webcast for us and first pro stop as part of a series of events.
You know, Allan telling me, Dave, before this match that he was really nervous coming in here, didn't know what to expect. He hasn't played in a 3-wall singles event in a number of years. He's playing like he's nervous. He's moving like he's nervous. He's not moving with any fluidity or rhythm. Looks like he's just a little bit unsure of himself. And certainly it's different, Dave, moving on the cement than it is in his more comfortable domain on the wooden courts inside.
Well, the crowd really packing in right now, Dave, to come watch this. We appreciate the fact that you're on the internet tuning into this live webcast, courtesy of the WPH at WPHlive.tv. Please purchase your WPH membership at WPHpass.com. We're going to throw in, for this live webcast, a little special offer, the Dave Chapman instructional video and a dry fit WPH logoed t-shirt, front and back. That's a white shirt that has a logo on it. You've been seeing a lot of players wear it. In the Nationals, you saw Duxie Walsh and Tom Sheridan wear the shirt during the finals. We're going to give that one to you for free.
WPH colors.
That's what it is. And you have a chance to get it just by purchasing your membership. Support us, and we'll put on more events like this. As we're back, game number 1, all tied at 17 between Allan Garner and Andy Nett. You heard the score there from referee Kevin Pettis. Oh my gosh.
That's the second time we've seen that coming out of a timeout. The first time Andy Nett double faulted. Now Andy calls a timeout and Allan hits himself with the serve. Could it be that our stats only apply to 4-wall with timeouts?
17 serve 17. Well, I'm glad you're keeping these webcasts thematic.
That's the wrong shot again, Dave. Andy Nett runs back to shoot the ball. That's never a good idea in 3-wall. You don't seem to recognize that, but I'm going to keep saying it.
Keep saying it. 17 serve 17.
I think it's going to click in there for you pretty soon. No. It's a good shot there from...
That's what Andy should have done the previous time.
It's true. I like that shot right there.
You have to keep that one in
and you see
mental reserve for later.
That's not a hard shot for Andy to hit, and yet we've seen him make the wrong decision from the back of the court and also miss-hit a number of shots from the back of the court. He made that look very easy.
Well, there's the score, 17-17. The one that he drifted back and tried to kill, he could have done that same thing over to the left side.
There's a big setup. You see he gets himself too close to that ball. That ball came off the right wall and he just rushed it. Need to take a step to the left there, be able to extend a little bit more on that ball. It's an easy shot for him. I'm sure he'll be disappointed with himself, particularly should he go on to lose this game.
Oh, that ball does not make the front wall. 18-17 now the score.
That's not a great serve there from Andy. His serve has dipped just a little bit here late in this first game. He was really on an incredible run with that serve.
That's a setup.
That's a good shot there from Andy. That's the time to hit that right corner, Dave. He moved back. He got himself set up for that ball. He had Allan on his right. He pinched that corner and ran that ball away from Allan. It's a smart shot there.
Score is 19-17 here.
That's not a good serve.
That looked like almost a bad bounce up there.
No, just a total miss hit. Very indecisive with that shot there. It looked at first like he was going to have a setup. That ball merged with the sidewall. He knew he was going to have to take that ball up high and just wasn't prepared to do it. And that's the play in 3-wall right there, Dave. It looks simple. That deep serve followed up with a fly kill.
Now you're mentioning earlier that the top players know how to use the backside of the court here and drive the ball and play deep, but they also know how to use that ceiling ball, the roof ball, quite effectively. They can pull their opponent in and then pop one to the ceiling, but you have to hit it, like you said, down the walls, not down the middle.
That's true. You know, Dave,
look how far Andy's coming in here.
We assume that all these guys can play in the front court because all these pros here, Dave, are great 4-wall players, but that X factor is who can play from the deep court.
Allan decides that he wants to play those long drives and cut them off.
Allan hits that ball long. I'm shocked. The blonde bombshells bride, TBBB, just texted me and asked me if the ball was pink. It's actually red. That's why we call it the fireball.
Ooh, look at that good serve right there, making it 20-18, trying to force.
That looked like just a streak of pink down that right wall. Andy just Just crushing that ball.
Possible game, serves 18. And he was going for it.
I have a bad feeling about a double fault here. I don't want to jinx him. But I don't have a good feeling here.
You think it's going to be long?
Yes, I do. Long and left.
Nope. And he got the first game. Andy Nett wins the first one, 21-18 versus Allan Garner.
Very, very impressive resolve there from Andy Nett. He's playing one of the top players in the world. We see a lot of times, Dave, these top players get off to a little bit of a slow start against a lesser-ranked player, but then generally pulling it together and then breaking away to end the game. But Andy fought off the run from Allan, even saw Allan tie that score at 17, and then just ran him out with 4 straight to take that first game 21-17. I don't think there's anyone amongst this packed bleacher crowd here that thinks Allan's just going to walk through these next 2 games. This is a match.
This is absolutely a match. It's the WPH EKTELON KCAC 3-wall Fireball Handball Classic here in Kansas City, Kansas, alongside Dave Fink and Omar Lemus.
And this little guy.
And this little dude here.
Been with us throughout the entire day.
Unfortunately, you're right.
I didn't say it was fortunate. I just said he's been here.
Who is this kid, by the way? Who is this young guy? Who is he related to?
Hector Fazio.
That's Hector Fazio's youngest?
No, there's one more younger.
There's 2, like, this is twice removed? Okay, all right.
Nico.
So it's a Nico Fazio. He's going to be a future national champion right over here. We're going to take a quick timeout. We have about 3 more minutes until the next game kicks off here at the KCAC Outdoor 3-wall court, so you stick with us. For Dave Fink and Omar, my name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Hector,
And we are back from the Kansas City Athletic Club. Andy Nett serving game number 2, and look at that ball just take off on that serve.
You know, Dave, we talked our camera tech, Omar Lemus, who plays a lot of 3-ball. He said he's never seen a serve like that consistently, every point, and there's just another great shot. If you, Dave, or anyone in this crowd, or even Alan, thought there might be some sort of letdown from Andy, we're seeing here he's making a statement, not only with his power but also his decision making, that he's here for this match, win this match. Quickly up 2-0 here. He started the last game up 2-0 and just built that lead throughout until Allan caught him at 17.
That's long.
This will be a second serve. For those of you watching who think Allan's wearing a yellow shirt because he won a WPH Pro Stop, that's a yellow jersey, it's not. He has not yet won a WPH Pro Stop. I could see how you'd be confused, though. Up to date us here, Dave. The yellow jersey holders right now are Dave Chapman,
Megan Mejilas, and Willie Polanco.
Okay.
So if you see those 3 on the street with a yellow shirt, you know what it's for.
Okay.
Lance Armstrong was 18th last night in his stage, so he didn't get the yellow jersey.
Or they give the yellow jersey in cycling to the person that does the most drugs. That's not really how it works here. Andy just completely controlling this match right now, Dave. He's got all the momentum. And Dave, you know how hard it can be to battle all the way back. That's a nice shot there from Allan. But to battle all the way back in a game that you've been trailing, catch your opponent, and then just, watch your opponent run the game out and lose. It's very deflating. Even for a top 5 player like Allan. That's why I don't like that reverse outside there, Dave. You see how that reverse slows up. Andy's fooled on that ball, but the ball slows up just enough to give Andy a big swing at that ball. He drives it at Allan's feet, and Allan whiffs it.
5-0.
You know, Dave, you see this a lot in golf where players are real hot for 3 or 4 weeks. They're up there in that top 5, get a couple of wins, and then you won't hear from them for a long time. But you don't think much about that in handball, but it is really true, Dave. Allan Garner was really hot there for about 3 or 4 months after that World Championships. It seems like he might be in a little bit of a slump right now. We saw Allan at the Nationals did not look as sharp as we'd seen him throughout most of the year.
And I went to dinner with Allan last night. We'll talk a little bit about some of his thoughts on why. We watch Andy Nett get another pass shot right there.
And that's really what separates the top players of all time, Dave, from those guys that could be the top players of all time like Allan, and not to say that he won't be, because he very well could be, but
wow, nice.
You see the consistency from guys like Dave Chapman and Paul Brady. Tournament after tournament and year after year. And Allan leaves that ball up. He's fortunate to catch that crack.
Well, that was set up from Andy, who decided to go for a kill shot from about 40.
So you have been listening to me then?
Yes, I'm a quick study.
Okay.
But Andy does not want to get into a driving game, so he goes for those kill shots, and he just doesn't seem to win those rallies. And I like that serve right there from Allan.
Well, that's what I've talked about, Dave. That natural outside is much more effective than the reverse. The natural picks up speed when it hits the ground. And you see Allan just not making that extra adjustment step. Allan has that ball with his right hand, and rather than taking a step back and pushing into that shot, he just leaned. Right. When you lean, you're either going to miss or that ball's going to come up.
You're right. He could have pushed that down that left wall if he took that extra step. Instead, he's backpedaling and trying to throw it right down the middle. 6-1. That's a nice hard serve there.
You know, Dave, I really feel like 3-ball favors the best athlete. This is the game more so than any other form of handball that really favors athleticism. And we talked a little bit off camera, Dave. Andy Nett is a former college All-American football and basketball player.
Right.
This guy is a tremendous athlete. This guy can play any sport. Allan Garner, also a tremendous athlete, but you have to wonder if maybe this game favors Andy more than any other even though he doesn't play it much.
It seems to me that if Andy figured out what he was doing in the 3-wall court, he would be a great 3-wall player. It's 9-1 now is the score.
Andy playing against somebody right now that's not making him uncomfortable by forcing him into the deep back court, and he's really looking good. And certainly with his shot making, you're right, Dave, he could be a real threat.
Every time Allen, except for once, every time Allen's put Andy in the deep court, he's won the rally, but Allen is not wanting to put him back there because I don't think Allen's comfortable himself back there.
I agree with you. I think, though, that despite being uncomfortable there, Allen is more comfortable and more competent in the backcourt than Andy. Allen right now trailing 9-1. I like his body language right now. He looks like he's still engaged in this match. I've seen Allen in the past get down and sort of, get a little bit down on himself, and that's affected his play. Right now it looks like he's ready to play. He's just getting outplayed at the moment.
Here comes the serve.
The winner of this match, Dave, will face the winner of Chicago Legend. That ball is in. That ball is out. The winner of this match, Dave, will face Chicago legend Dane Stetkowski or St. Louis's Ryan Willis. This is an interesting part of the draw here, and the winner of that will ultimately face the winner of Emmett Peixote and Nick Nahorniak. If that confused you, I'm sure it did. You can check the draw sheets. That's on the message board.
10-1 now. This is like spotting a guy 10 points. And I just don't see how Allen can come back from this.
Well, Dave, I mentioned a little bit earlier, that's a nice shot there from Allen. You're never out of the game in outdoor handball because anybody with a good serve can run off 5, 10, or more points at any time. I'm not sure what the call there was, Dave.
Actually, Andy thought that he called it good, but Pettis said it was a short ball.
Okay.
That's why he said, "You got to be kidding me," and then you go, "Oh, okay."
Okay. As long as you say you got to be kidding me, it's a reverse.
Come on.
This is where Andy's got to really maintain that intensity and that focus because he's got a nice lead here, but if he doesn't keep his foot on the gas, he'll see that lead disappear very quickly.
Allen is scoring in 2 or 3 bunches when he does score, so.
Well, Dave, those last 3 serves by Allen were really nothing special, and Andy didn't do anything with them. Those balls were right in the middle of the court. You see Andy just didn't set his feet there. He was continuously shuffling those feet to force the air.
4-10 is the score here. Second game, Allen loses the first one, 21-18.
I like that return there, Dave, that 2-wall return. Much better than hitting that ball straight off the front wall. Gets you into a lot of trouble. That's a nice shot there from Allen.
Just not hitting it high enough on the front wall.
Right.
He's picking it up, but he's keeping it low.
I haven't seen Allen play this poorly offensively in a long time. Allen just not putting his kills down, and he's known for flat rolling balls when he has the opportunity with both hands.
And a quick timeout called from Andy. Net score here is 5-10. That's 5 straight points now for Allan Garner.
I don't hear that sound from Allan Garner that ball coming off of his hand that I'm used to hearing, just that crack. And thus far in this match, I just haven't heard it. That to me tells me that his timing is completely off. He's probably a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious, and he's just not getting his feet in the right position, not comfortable.
I talked to Allen last night. He said that he just gained some weight. He's sitting at about 220 pounds. And you can recall when Allen was on top of his game, he was right about that 210 mark. And even then he said that he was too heavy. His playing weight is about 195, 197, but he's up to 220 right now.
That's tough to carry that weight around, particularly outside here in 3-wall. Andy is very fit. He's got a real sturdy build. The Dreamboat Andy Nett. Good build for sports.
That's a smart shot there.
You see Andy not backing up far enough for that ball, not getting his legs into it, and there's another good shot. Allen looks like he's made a conscious decision in his mind now that he's going to take this game up high. I think that's smart. And you see Andy's just not comfortable back there. Not only does he not play the high shots well, but he makes poor decisions from the backcourt. Allen got the opportunity he wanted there and just didn't square off his stance, didn't follow through on that swing, didn't let that ball drop. Just a number of errors in the same swing.
Scores 10-5.
And here's a huge setup for Andy. Andy sort of casually, I like that shot there from Andy. He generated a lot of power with that open stance by turning all the way through it. Rolled that ball.
11-5.
There's that serve.
It's an amazing serve, actually.
Allen just with no answer for that serve.
I don't know what you're supposed to do. I guess just start running back.
Well, the first thing, Dave, is you need to read that serve. You have to determine how deep that serve is going to be, and as soon as it's hit, you can't wait until that ball gets by you, that's for sure.
That's a screen ball, and it is not.
I'm very surprised that Kevin called that ball because clearly Andy took that shot and missed it and then looked back. That's what you don't want to see from a referee, Dave, and the WPH is taking steps to correct that problem with the referees, and certainly we're not blaming Kevin here because he doesn't have much experience refereeing. The WPH, Dave, in future events, as we see Andy take that one in the face, in future events we'll be hiring a certified and experienced referee, and the chief referee, I believe, Dave, will be John Bike Jr.
Yeah, you're right. We're obviously trying to cut down on a lot of issues that we've seen at some of our events and other events that we've gone to. Trying to control the players as well as the flow of the game.
Great serve there. Certainly, Dave, there's more subjectivity in refereeing handball than, say, another sport like tennis.
Look at that serve. It's unbelievable. But you're right. If Allen's playing in the right position, he gets that back. And there's going to be a timeout call here from Allan Garner at 14-5. He found himself down 10-0, came back with 5 straight points, and now here's another quick run from Andy Nett, who seems that at times, if he just pushes the button, the power button, he seems to get these great serves working again.
Well, you know, Dave, that these serves look great, but I feel like if Andy plays Dane Stetkowski tomorrow and hits these same serves, they're not going to look nearly as great because Dane will be waiting for them. Dane will have an answer for them. Allen, for whatever reason, just is playing a little bit too far into the court, and he's just not reacting to that serve.
I'm surprised that Allen's not about 2 feet behind that white line on the deep side. Right now, he's kind of lining up right on the line.
At least force Andy to serve short. He hasn't proven that he's had a great short serve. Take that long serve away from him, I agree with you, and force him to hit some sort of other serve. At the very least, you take him out of his rhythm. Right now, Andy just completely comfortable in there.
Time is running out for Allan Garner. 14-5, second game, losing the first one he did. 21-18. That's a nice return from Allen.
And there's a big mistake there. You see Allen just didn't even let that ball drop. And you see he didn't hit that ball clean. That's not the sound we're used to hearing off of Allan Garner's hand. Just sort of ran into that ball, didn't let that ball drop. Fortunately for Allen, strong enough to direct that ball to the right corner. There's a good serve there from Allen.
I like that serve. 6-14. Allen's going to do that to neutralize Andy. Then he's going to go behind himself with a huge natural hook that goes out the court.
You know, when Allen gets into that really low crouch with that back right knee bent really low, that's when he's going to serve short down the right.
Smart serve.
There's the fly kill, and Andy's there.
Swing and miss, and it hit Allen. The ball hit Allen. Nobody saw it.
Andy might have just grazed that ball.
Possibly. But he certainly swung and missed, and the ball hit Allen's foot. 7-14, 2 quick points. There's that natural hook. Allen just slow getting out of that box right there.
Well, that's a nice defensive shot there from Allen. And you see Andy just, that's the wrong swing. He's off his back foot, his front foot's up in the air. He's falling back towards the crowd, and he's trying to spike that ball. It looks like he's aiming about 5 feet high in that front wall.
He needs to aim up toward the KCAC
That's
logo.
Right.
Great John Bike told me to act like I'm in center field, throwing a ball to the catcher. where you have to do the crow's hop, and then you throw it 20 feet off the ground, or 15 feet off the ground. You're going to hit the cutoff man. Don't throw downhill like you're at third base throwing to the first baseman. And that's the difference between what Andy's doing and maybe not necessarily saying it's the right technique, Dave, but certainly if you throw it out about that height right there, it's about 15, 16 feet up.
That's tremendous advice. I think everyone, including myself, just learned quite a bit. That was a strange call there because that ball popped off that sidewall. It didn't look like Andy was going to have a chance to get that ball.
That's a great serve. Andy's going to call timeout here. 10-14, just like that, Allen gets 5 more points. And now we're at 10-14, and it looks like Allen's in control here with those serves. And then what he's doing after it, you're watching the WPH EKTELON KCAC 3-wall Fireball Handball Classic. This is a first for us. First live webcast outside at a 3-wall court, and the first pro stop that's part of a series of events with EKTELON and the WPH as we incorporate 1-wall this year, 4-wall, and 3-wall all into the FBC series, which you've participated in each one of those events, Dave. We had that humongous event late April, early March, Tucson, Arizona, where we had the 4-wall qualifiers, pro stop, women event, as well as a junior doubles championship alongside a money doubles event, and then we all went outside.
Dash for cash.
Dash for cash. We then went outside and had the top 1-wall players with Robert Sastry losing to Willie Polanco in that 1-wall event. That kicked everything off, and
that was one of the best events that I've ever been to. Now, certainly this event is...
This is ranking up there already. If you were a spectator, Dave, you'd absolutely love this, but you're in the event. You're both. You're a spectator and you're in the event.
And a webcaster. That's good footwork there from Allen. That's the first time we've heard his shoes squeaking there. That's very important to get yourself in the right position. You need to be making those baby steps. Allen now has scored 6 consecutive points, make that 7.
Watch out, that made it to the front wall.
Allen's saying that ball didn't make it. I thought it did make it. Certainly sounded good.
Allen's actually saying it had backspin, which when a ball does have backspin, and there's no scientific way it could make it to the front wall first. 14-11, that was a...
That's a great serve. That's really been the difference in this match, is that deep serve down the right. That's the first ball Allen's gotten his hand on. I know it doesn't sound like much, but if he's able to at least get his hand on that ball, maybe his next step is being able to get that ball back, because we've seen him just sort of wave it at all those balls up until now.
I like that power from Andy.
That could be trouble right there.
This is smart.
Well, here's a setup. Let's see if he lets that ball drop. He doesn't. There's no worse feeling than that, Dave, by turning a big setup into a setup for your opponent. That's where a little bit of nerves creeps in and your decision making isn't quite what it should be.
Almost like you overpowered that shot. 11-15 here, second game. Allan Garner finding himself behind.
That's a nice return there. Just out. Smart of Allen to let that ball go.
Allen loses the first game 21-18. Allen's the 4th seed and Andy's the 12th seed.
I think that was 21-17. I think that was tied 17-all, and Andy went on to score 4 consecutive points.
Oh, you're wrong. It's actually 18, and Allen did score 1 more. But,
okay.
Regardless,
there's a first for everything.
We have the 12 seed on his way to upset the number 4 seed here. See, that's it's the wrong shot. Everybody knows it.
That's the second really lucky shot that Andy's hit here in the last 4 rallies. That proves to be a huge difference there. That's 2 points in Allen's pocket. Instead, Andy's in there serving now.
15-11. Allen has showed us that he can score 5 points in a row. He's done it twice already in this game alone.
Screen says Fink versus Lewis.
Looks like we'll have a glove change here, Dave.
After a quick point from Andy Nett, 17-11 is the score here. We appreciate the fact that you're watching this live webcast.
We've got a lot of people tuning in, Dave, from Pittsburgh. We've got RFC himself.
For those of you that are watching this live webcast and you know it's Andy Nett versus Allan Garner, but then on the screen it might say Peixote versus Limp or Fink versus Lemus as a title, you need to refresh your web page, because if you keep it on there continuously like that from a match that you might have put on 6 or 7 hours ago, if you hit refresh, it'll actually refresh all the settings, and you'll see the new names and possibly other little messages that are posted on there. We appreciate the fact that you have tuned in live to watch this webcast at WPHlive.tv, and obviously if you're watching, you're a WPH member. If you're tuning in with a friend and you're not a member, please support us, because it helps us with the prize money that we get to run these events, as well as webcasting and filming. This costs a lot of money to do this, so it helps out if you join the organization at WPHpass.com, and as a special incentive, we'll give you a free Dave Chapman instructional handball DVD as part of the membership, and a t-shirt, a dry fit WPH t-shirt, all part of this live webcast incentive for you. If you buy a membership now at WPHpass.com, you can use your credit card. WPHpass.com, sign yourself up as well as a friend. We have a contest going on right now. The most people that you can sign up before September 1st, as many people as you can sign up as a member by September 1st, we'll give you $1,000 in cash. $1,000 could be yours. Just go around and sign people up. You could be a winner. You can find out details online at thehandballstore.com/contest. Give you all the rules. Really easy. As we're watching game number 2 here, 17-11 is the score, with Andy Nett from Winona, Minnesota, up against Allan Garner here in game number 2. Allan loses the first one 21-18. Andy on his way to face either Willis or Zetkowski tomorrow, depending on who wins that one.
That's true. That match will be a little bit later tonight. I'm sure you'll all be still tuned in. That'll be the final match of the night.
Here's 17-11. Nice big deep serve again, gets Allan. We've seen that exact same thing happen multiple times, and it's because look where Allan is standing.
It's so easy for us to see the mistakes being made, but sometimes, Dave, when you're in there, you just can't recognize what you're doing wrong.
19-12 is the score here.
Andy now just 2 points from the biggest win of his handball career. Would this be the biggest win of his sporting life? I mean,
well, since he qualified in Tucson when he beat Chip Morales with that diving re-kill at 10-10 in the breaker. Look at those serves.
Second serve ace. That's his, let me see, carry the
11th?
Carry the 2. That's his 25th ace of this match.
I was thinking 11.
Got that written down right here.
Of this game, and
That's
it is. Andy Nett just pulls down an upset. Number 12 beats number 4. Andy Nett defeats Allan Garner 21-18, 21-12, and Allan is really not happy with himself right here, as he should be. A little upset, but congratulations to Andy Nett, the dreamboat from Minnesota, with those great serves down the line, defeating the blonde bombshell Allan Garner in the round of 16 here in Kansas City. We're going to take a quick break. We have another match coming up right around the corner. Looks like Bill Mihilis facing Tommy Little.
That's going to be a great one. These guys have faced off so many times in the past. I'm expecting about a 2.5-hour backyard brawl here at the KCAC.
We're going to have that next, so you stick around here at the handball courts for the Ektelon WPH Fireball Handball Classic. For Dave Fink and Omar Lemus, my name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back. You stick with us.